1:30 to 3 p.m. at the Pine City Library. It is free to attend, but they ask people to pre-register.
It's time for high school basketball action here on WCMP. Tonight we'll see the Pine City Dragons
1:30 to 3 p.m.
getting set to take on the St. Francis Saints. Tip-off is coming your way shortly, but now we send it to the court for the pregame. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of high school basketball here on WCMP. Ethan Game Day Gilman joining you, and alongside me tonight is Joe Lattimore. Joe, first of all, thanks for making the trek up here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Ethan. It's always good to be out and watching some high school athletics.
Absolutely, and if you haven't made your way here to the game, well, maybe that's for the better. It's snowing out there, and first of all, I didn't realize it was going to snow, so better off. Don't worry, we will have this game up live for you shortly. Just kind of waiting on Hudl, see if it'll do its thing and pop up here shortly. If not, well, we'll get our own camera and we'll run it ourselves. So we're just trying to kill some time here so the Hudl camera can catch up itself. But tonight we've got a pretty good matchup here between two very good teams, two solid teams here in the state of Minnesota. A 3A school taking on a 2A school. Pine City hosting the St. Francis Saints, and Pine City has had an up and down year, but taking on another tough team. And for a couple years now, head coach Kyle Allen has really wanted his teams to face these bigger, better schools and competitions. And so far, I think that it has panned out for his team, because as the years have gone along, this team has just continually stayed tough against these teams.
Right. So when you play in the Great River Conference, you get a lot of 1A schools, and in the 6AA that Pine City plays in, it's extremely tough section, so it makes it very difficult to get quality games against teams in your own conference, especially, like you said, when you're taking on a bunch of 1A schools. So it's important for Coach Allen to go out and find some teams to play that will test his team when it comes to playoff time. And as we look, they've traveled south here, just down the road a little bit here, take on a few Mississippi 8 conference teams this year. They played Chisago, got a win there, went to North Branch, came up on the short side of that one, and now St. Francis up here. So it's always about scheduling. You know, if you have a really tough conference, you want to use that as your measuring, but when you've got a conference full of 1A schools, you need to go out and find those tougher competitions to prepare you. Like I said, 6AA is an extremely, I would say it's probably top to bottom one of the most difficult sections in the state of Minnesota when it comes to boys basketball. Anybody could go and they're going to make a good run at state. It's just even getting past the first round for some teams is just it's an uphill climb, as we saw last year when we were over there at St. John's University. We got to see the game prior to that, and it's just a tough physical section. So these are good games for Pine City to get, and to get that ready for the playoffs, because we're just a month away from kicking that off at the 1st of March. Here we go.
Absolutely, and we've seen in those playoffs last year that it doesn't matter where you're ranked, where you're seated, that these teams are going to battle, and it may not be the highest scoring of games, but this section battles tough, and they play hard throughout the entirety. But looking at the Saints this year, 9-10 on the season, but they're 6-1 in the section. Talk about how important it is to be only one loss in your section in this point in the season.
Well, when it comes to section play now, especially with if they're a QRF seeded conference, you're going to find out that they have those wins are going to be important, because there's no tiebreaker anymore. If you beat a team, you get to jump them if you're using the QRF, which is a quality ratings formula that the sections can use, or a coach's vote to determine seeding in the conference. So being 6-1, that's important. And for them, when they're in theirs, I think it's 5-3A that they are in. They're playing a lot of conference opponents, so it's Monticello, it's Becker, it's Big Lake, Princeton, Chisago. So they're playing a lot of the teams that they play during the regular season in that section. So they're getting a good look at that right now as they go through their regular season and their conference season. They're going to see a lot of that. But 6-1, important, especially when it comes to playoff time, and trying to get at least one, maybe two home court advantages in the playoffs.
Yeah, they just recently beat Becker, who has been a pretty good team, 88-78 here this past Friday. And as we take a look at Pine City, 10-8 on the year, 3-1 in their section, 7-2 in the conference. And this conference right now, it's not up for grabs per se, but there's still a chance Pine City could come away with the conference crown. They need a lot of help from East Central losing, but I just don't know if East Central is going to be in the losing fashion here to end the season, because after that loss to Hinckley Finlayson, I think that's going to wake them up, so to speak, and kind of give them that drive to finish off the season undefeated against the remainder of their conference opponents. But for Pine City, they face St. Francis today, Bram tomorrow, and then on the road on Friday to take on Malacca, another section opponent there in Malacca. And Malacca and Pine City have had some pretty good matchups here, whether it's girls or boys basketball here the last couple of seasons. And it's a tough schedule to end here for Pine City as we take a look at their schedule. St. Francis, Bram, Malacca this week. Next week they get Ogilvie, Spectrum. Then to wrap it all up, it's Mora, Hinckley, and Esco. So not an easy end to the schedule here for Pine City, but maybe that benefits them as we go into the tough section playoff that we talk about, because you face these teams who are either bigger schools, they might be a little higher ranked in the QRF in the section than you are, or maybe even a better record in the section. You're facing those teams. Now you know what you got to deal with come playoff time.
Right, so what you want to do is you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the year, and you want to be playing a difficult competition towards the end of the year as well. So they're setting themselves up really nice here for if they can get it ironed out, figured out, could potentially be a nice run into the sections for Pine City.
It really could. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more about this game. We're going to get our own camera running. Huddle seems to be taking a little bit of its time right now. So we're going to get up video ourselves. That way we are set to go here this evening. You're listening to Boys Basketball right here on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getthere. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Back here on WCMP, we've got our camera rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry.
Nice job, Ethan. That was touch and go there. Nice job.
I appreciate that. But now we're set to go, and the starters for tonight's teams, the St. Francis Saints, were in their away white unis with their navy blue numbers and their white letters outlined in navy. It'll be Derek Stone, number 1. Number 3, Landon Pavlitsky. Number 5, Matthew Bothan. Number 11, Wes Johnson. And 33, Brady Johnson. For your Pine City Dragons, those home green uniforms, white numbers, letters outlined in black. 14, Isaiah Haas. 23, Luke Wilson. 24, Lamont Sidney. 31, Mason Charles. 32, Riley Cummings and Bothan at half court to get the tip, and it's going to be Luke Wilson who won the tip, but dribbled it out of bounds, and the ball will go right away to the Saints. So not a bad tip, actually. Pine City won that tip, and Riley Cummings won it over a young man who is 6'9".
Yeah, that's kind of tough to do there, so good on him.
So the Saints will get set to inbound. It's Brady Johnson. Brady Johnson will get set to inbound for the Saints. He'll give it back to Pavlitsky, and that was close. He nearly didn't establish himself enough in the backcourt before taking that ball, but then he gives it off to Wes Johnson, who puts it up and in for 2. Luke Wilson directing traffic, and again, anytime you play a different level of school, it doesn't matter what the records are for either team. It's always going to be a tough matchup, and I think that goes for both teams.
Right, yeah, so it's going to be very important here these first few minutes just to make sure that everything is okay and that everybody stays where they're supposed to, and just kind of feel each other out here as St. Francis starts with a full court press there. They got a foul on, so it's going to be the first one on Pavlitsky at the half court.
So the Dragons Haas has it, wanted to go inside to Cummings, gives it out on the near side elbow to Luke Wilson. He drives inside, and are they going to get him for a travel or a foul? I cannot see.
Looks like it's going to be a foul here.
So a foul again on the Saints. That'll be on Brady Johnson, his first, team second, and Luke Wilson will go to line to 2. Now, if you're Pine City, maybe that's something that you can work with is kind of getting St. Francis their foul count up early on.
Yeah, see what kind of bench they have and how deep they're going to go. That'll be key as Luke Wilson makes the first one.
And with all that run around, I forget the scoreboard myself. So 2-1 now in favor of the Saints as Luke Wilson lines up for his second shot. 17:25 to go, and he makes them both. So Luke Wilson makes both free throws, and it's now tied at 2 apiece. And this ball intended for Landon Pavlitsky goes just over his head and out of bounds. And
turnover there on Matthew Botham, trying to get a half-court goal there, and it just a little too long for his teammate, so out of bounds. And because it was out of bounds, it'll be underneath for the Dragons here of St. Francis basket.
So Luke Wilson here on the near side elbow, trying to get around the defender, drives inside. Now he'll give it back out here to Riley Cummings, now far side to Luke Wilson, fakes a 3, step backs, looks for the 3. That's going to be off the mark, and Riley Cummings comes up with the rebound there. He's a rebound machine for these Dragons, and Bothan guarding Wilson. That should be a fun matchup. And is that going to be on Lamont or on St. Francis?
Looks like it's on St. Francis here.
So another one here on St. Francis early. We're not even a minute in. They've got 3 fouls. That one's going to go against Bothan, his first.
Good, the Dragons are really out-heighted here, and if that's even a word, but they're
it is now.
They're doing a great job on the offensive boards, getting some glass here and getting some second chance opportunities here, and really controlling the pace of the game right now.
And one thing I think that Pine City does have going for them in this game is that they have played physical all year long. You've got Lamont Sidney, Isaiah Haas, who love to throw their bodies around. I know it's basketball, but wow, what a shot there from Luke Wilson. Falling backwards on a spin move, gets it to fall, make it 4-2 in favor of Pine City. But now here come the Saints up the court. A fake pass one way by Stone, Derek Stone, and then he's fouled by Mason Charles. But as I was saying, Pine City, they've played physical all year long. Lamont Sidney and Isaiah Haas, the 2 notable ones that play extremely physical for Pine City. They love to play physical. Mason Charles played football. Man, he's a physical specimen. And Isaiah Haas didn't play football, but I'm telling you, if Haas and Sidney played football, man, they would be probably the top 2 tacklers out there. They just love Loved it. Loved to throw their bodies around. Meanwhile, a shot is no good from 3 for St. Francis. Lamont Sidney gets the rebound. He's going to try and drive inside and tried to give it out to Isaiah Haas, but it just goes behind Isaiah Haas. A smart move by Lamont Sidney and opened up Haas on that far side corner for 3, but just behind Haas there. And what are mistakes like those in this game going to mean for Pine City?
Well, it's a loss of possession, so you want to control possession, get the offense. Nice board there by knocked out of bounds, but nice board there by, I think that was Charles there in the corner. Nice box out there. But yeah, like we're saying, you want your possessions. Don't have any empty possessions. Make sure you're getting at least a shot off. And as we go way down to the court here to Isaiah Haas, he was bumped maybe. Hard to tell.
I thought he did a good job of drawing the foul, and then a 3 there from Lamont Sidney is no good. Isaiah Haas did get his own rebound, by the way, and Johnson got that one there. And we can see how quickly the Saints are getting up the court, and Pine City, I don't want to say they're struggling with it as of yet because it's still too early on to say someone's struggling, but there is a little bit of a difference there for Pine City.
Yeah, just I'm trying to, St. Francis has played a little bit more competition, higher level competition, so it's showing here right now for the Saints, and they just have to, the Dragons just have to slow it down and play their style.
So Stone, he'll drop them both in for his first 2 points of the game, and we'll be tied at 4 apiece now here with 15.5 to go in half number 1. Here comes Luke Wilson up the court, one of the best ball handlers probably in Section 6AA, and he drives to the basket, gets it up and in for 2. And again, Luke Wilson, one of the better ball handlers, not just in this conference, but in the section as well, and he has worked on that. I mean, since his sophomore year, we could see it last year, it came together a little bit, and then this year it just continues to do it. Oh, and a foul called on Sidney there that time. Sidney does not agree, and I kind of agree with Sidney. I think that one might have been, I think he might have been there.
That was definitely a 50-50 one. It's so tough to see where they were. So, if your feet are in the arc as a secondary defender, you have to it's going to be a block. So it was really tough to see in that arc there, the restricted arc, if he had a heel in there or not. But regardless, number 5, Botham's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
So Sidney will pick up his first, team's third. Both teams with 3 right now, and Bothan will drain it, make it 6-5. And in a game like this where the pace early on is just incredible, it looks like we're sprinting 100-meter dashes up and down the court. I mean, how is that going to play into the second half as we go along?
Well, you're going to have to, hopefully you got a deep bench or you're well-conditioned as you go. And judging by how both teams play, I think both teams are going to be well conditioned here for this game. So not much should change here, but out of bounds there, knocked out by the Saints, so it'll stay with the Dragons underneath the basket here as Luke Wilson tries to bring it in as we have our first sub for Pine City, number 33.
That's going to be Nick Plajek checking into the game. Talk about a guy who loves to throw his body around. I think he might have been close to leading the Dragons in tackles this fall. A very good linebacker, and he's just going to throw it in off of a St. Francis player. That's Wes Johnson who tried. And that's kind of dangerous doing that because sometimes that can go against you as they might just hold on to it and steal it. That time it works. Now inbound here to Haas, now to Charles. Charles wanted Wilson. It does get to Wilson. He stands top of the key, drifts to the near side. Now he'll pull up from the elbow. That looks on the mark. It's just off the front of the rim and rebounded here by Wes Johnson. And here come the Saints quickly up the court. They have to slow things down, though. Pavlitsky goes inside to Bothan, and yeah, that's just going to be a matchup nightmare for Pine City. Bothan 6'9", quite literally taller than everybody out there. Not much that the Dragons could do there, but what can they do there?
Well, they tried to, what they did is they had a front that what they need to do is get their backside help to maybe come back and try and help on that one with a dig or something like that to help with that, because you're not going to be able to do that with him just on your own. You're going to need a double team, get the ball out of his hands, and then go back the other way. Nice box out there.
And again, there is no over and back call. It is called a push.
Right.
Even though Bothan, I mean, if it was a call, that was pretty darn close. But his long arms, I mean, it's almost unfair.
Looks like we had a foul there. Looks like it's going to be on 33 for them. That's his second team foul. Brady Johnson. Wilson back to the line to shoot 2.
Luke Wilson, very, very good from the line. His first one is up, no good. The announcer's jinx in full effect that time. Wow.
I blame you, Ethan.
I would blame me too. I apologize, Luke Wilson. That is all me. So Ethan Gilman with the assist on the miss there, and Luke Wilson will try and tie this one up at 7 with 14:03 to go here in half number 1. It's Luke Wilson. He drains the second one. So he will tie it at 7.
Good pace so far right now. Both teams a little three-quarter, half-court, full-court press going on here, so they're really working the ball. Both teams doing a really nice job of getting good looks for both. As 15 takes a shot here. 4. It looks like it's knocked out of bounds. Going to go to the Dragons there. Nice shot. Had a little opportunity for a rebound there. Knocked out of bounds. So it'll be the Dragons' ball as Saints drop back here a little bit to they were doing some full court pressure. Now they're back to a half court man-to-man look here.
And the Dragons have it now in their front court. Isaiah Haas, he wanted to go to Cummings. He does. Cummings and going to get in for travel. And again, the mental mistakes, I think, might be something that we look at once we get into the second half, where if those start to pile up, those could become a problem. I mean, they do become a problem if it piles up for anybody, but especially in a game like this where it may not be a section game for either of these teams, but both these teams really want to win here tonight.
Nice take.
As Bothan is going to get fouled, and
he must just have scored 1,000 points.
I was going to say, it must be. So Bothan, a career mark of what we don't know, but it's either 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, heck, maybe even 5,000. We don't know. But a career benchmark there for, here we go. Oh.
Career scoring record. The record of 1,522 points was previously held by Brady Larson, has stood for 28 years.
The sad thing about that, Ethan, is the record 1,522. I played. Brady Larson was the guy that I played against when I was at North Branch, so he does. He was a heck of a player himself. So congrats to Botham for his 1,523rd, fourth point.
Yeah, that's a great mark for him to reach, and I know you and I were talking beforehand about the record holder, and so congratulations there to Matthew Bothan, who, again, if you did not hear, just got the St. Francis career scoring record of 1,522 that was held for 28 years. So congratulations to Matthew Bothan on his career benchmark there. Now the all-time leading scorer for St. Francis Saints boys basketball team. Congratulations there to him.
Absolutely. Quite the milestone there for him.
Absolutely, and he's at the line now to even add on to that, and we've got a whole game for him. He's got basically almost half a season to add on, so a great benchmark there for Bothan as his free throw is up and good. He completes the three-point play to make it a 10-7 lead, and Luke Wilson brings it up the court here for Pine City. Now to Isaiah Haas, top of the key, gives it off to Mason Charles. Mason Charles cuts one way, now drives inside on the near side, gives it off here to Luke Wilson. Wilson wanted a screen, and Charles could not fight off the defender. Now he'll give it to Isaiah Haas, top of the key. Haas tries to spin around, but gives it off to Mason Charles on the far side. Now to Luke Wilson, top of the key.
Nice
Wilson.
job here by the Dragons. Sorry, Ethan.
Oh, no.
It's just, take some air out of the ball. Look for a good shot here as Wilson goes to the basket, but really good offensive possession here for them as he takes up a shot and just misses Luke Wilson, that is.
Yeah, that's the second shot we've seen that goes off the front of the rim. And Luke Wilson, I'm not going to rag on him too much here, but lately has just been a little bit off the mark with his shots, unfortunately. And for him, he's just looking to get back on track. Even though he's got the points to show, I'm sure that he would like to see that three-point percentage go back up a little bit, because as of late it's down a little bit. But you know that Luke Wilson, the player he is, he's going to be not only working for his team to get it better, but he's also going to be a great teammate and just giving off the ball. Here he takes another three. That's no good, but Mason Charles easily gets that rebound. And, oh, no, we've got a player hurt, and he's in some serious pain. We got it. There's the whistle. My goodness, took a little too long for that one. We've got a player down. We'll take commercial break.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have.
Back here on WCMP, the injured Saint that time was Jackson Skogquist. So he was able to walk off with some assistance, but again, last thing we want to see is anybody get injured, so hopefully he's able to work himself back into this game, or if it's a little serious, hopefully he gets better soon, because again, last thing we want to see is anybody injured. Luke Wilson will start with it here for the Dragons, gives it off far side to Ashton Seals for three, no good. Falls into the hands of number 21, that is Amen, Odumakin, I believe is how you would pronounce it. So
I like it.
Odumakin with the rebound. And on the far side for three this time for St. Francis is Derek Stone. No good. Rebounded Isaiah Haas. And the Dragons will bring it back up the court. Here comes Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson drifts to the far side. Tries to drive inside. Puts up a little floater. That's no good. And no surprise that Bothan with the rebound there for the Dragons. He'll bring it back the other way now. Getting it underneath and up off the backboard in for two here for Caleb Schoenrock. And that makes it a 14-7 game now in favor of St. Francis. Here come the Dragons. It's Wilson, now to Haas, now back to Wilson. Wilson near side. He gets the call from head coach Kyle Allen. He looks back to Kyle Allen. Now he drifts to the far side. He tells Ashton Seals which way to go. Now he'll look for a fake screen from Lamont Sidney. Wilson will stand on the near side here, and it looks like here Dragons trying to slow things down just a little bit and really find a shot that they're comfortable with, because right now they are just, I think they're 0 for on the last couple of minutes here, and I'm going to say that there aren't too many possessions that you can go 0 for and go without points here in this game without it getting out of hand.
Right. So they're trying to get a little screen and roll here set up here on the top, but Coach Allen's going to take a timeout, reset the troops here to get it figured out. It looks like they're trying to get a little pick and roll action there with Luke Wilson and on the wing to get him going to the lane and then get his the roll to go with him. So he's got a two-way go. Either he takes it or dishes it off, but they just couldn't get it set up there, so he just decided to take a timeout here to get the troops regrouped.
So a timeout here by Pine City. They'll be left with 4 the entire way. We're at, I think, under 10.5 to go here in the first half. The St. Francis Saints lead 14-7 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. They also have Dr. Sievers, who is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. So the Dragons trail by 7, and again, in a game like this, it's a great competition for both teams. And this game was supposed to be played before Christmas, but again, the snowstorms that we had November to December were just ferocious. And now Luke Wilson going to be double teamed. Nearly traveled there, but did a good job to get out of the double team. He'll give it off to Ashton Seals. Now back to Luke Wilson here on the near side. Luke Wilson guarded well, and they know who the ball handler is for Pine City. They're going to guard him as close as they can. Now they look for a screen.
This is the one you want right there.
Ooh. And
They're calling a kick here.
I
didn't see it either.
I didn't either, but again, as I always say, at least once or twice a game, got to give the refs a break. They are volunteers who take time out of their busy schedule to do this, and if it weren't for them, none of us would be able to be here anyways for the game.
That's right.
Inbound here to Lamont Sidney for 3, and there's a little something started for Pine City. Get a 3 on the board, and now maybe you can get a little bit of offense rolling here for Pine City. And in this game, as I'm going to guess, we're going to see a lot more points. A dunk from Caleb Schoenrock. And I said beforehand, we're going to see one tonight, and there it is. Schoenrock with the dunk for St. Francis. I think that's the 3rd or 4th one I've called this year, and I love calling dunks anytime I see them.
Up high and down low. Holy cow. Kevin Harlan used to say for Kevin Garnett.
Nice dunk there by Schoenrock, and again, this St. Francis team averages, about 7 feet tall, I think?
Yeah, they got a lot of length. So that one, Caleb Schoenrock, 6'6", Botham is 6'9". Nice take here by Lamont. Just a little too strong off the glass for him.
As Botham gets the rebound quickly the other way for St. Francis. That's no good, but Botham with the rebound. No surprise. He's still inside, puts it up and in for two. My goodness, matchup nightmare Botham.
Yeah, it's just really tough to try and get anything going with him. He was able to clear the rebound.
So jump ball, possession arrow favors Pine City. It should be Pine City's ball. I believe the possession
I think what happened, Ethan, is during the jump ball from the start there, what happened is that Luke Wilson had possession of it here, but then it was knocked out of bounds. So the possession arrow should go to St. Francis.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
So he did establish possession long enough, so it is back to Pavlitsky. Got away a little bit with the travel there, I think, but he'll give it out to Schoenrock, and Schoenrock goes back, to Botham, now back inside of Schoenrock, and Lamont Sidney knocks it out of bounds. And
well, that's where you want. You want both Schoenrock and Botham were about 19 feet from the basket. That's where you want their two biggest guys. So this 1-2-2, 1-3-1, 1-2-2 trap is really affecting how they're going to get the ball inside here. So
inbound here to Botham, and Botham looks to drive inside, gets around two defenders. Nice shot, but no good on it, and Mason Charles right there for the rebound here for Pine City. He's in some trouble. Gets through a double team. They got it. Got a couple men. They go out to Isaiah Haas, far side for three. No good, and Riley Cummings came up with the rebound, but then it is stolen away here by the Saints. It was Schoenrock who got the steal. Cummings had it, but he had to dribble it, so I understand that one. Otherwise, he would have been called for a travel. Lamont Sidney gets the rebound there on that three-point attempt, so Sidney comes the other way. Nice behind-the-back dribble, takes it to the basket, gets the friendly roll, and Lamont Sidney with a sick move to get that one up and in for two. He had to go around two tall players there. Botham, one of them, and man, he got the nice finger roll on that one to get that one to fall.
That was a nice, pretty move there by Lamont.
This ball back in the front court, and here's Botham wide open for three. What can he do? Dunking, 3 points. Botham all over right now. Makes it 21-12. Dragons have plenty of time left here in the first half, just under 7.5 to go. Only trailing by 9, and again, I've said it probably every game that Pine City's played in. If they get the three ball rolling, good night. As that ball no good, Lamont Sidney will get the rebound, puts up a little floater, and that's no good. Falling backwards for Lamont Sidney, couldn't make it fall. As Botham gets the rebound, that one's going to be knocked out, and I think they're going to get a foul call on Pine City. They will. Kyle Allen does not agree. He says it maybe should have been on St. Francis or even out of bounds off of St. Francis, and it shouldn't have been a foul, period. But either way, it will stay with St. Francis. That foul going to go against A.J. Austinson, who wears number 12 for Pine City. They have now 5 team fouls. Does Pine City, and the three attempt, no good. And Riley Cummings right there for the rebound for Pine City. Quickly up the court, A.J. Austinson gives it to Isaiah Haas. Haas now to Sidney. Sidney looks, trying to get around the defender here. He goes into a double team, and they're going to get a foul here on St. Francis. And that's one thing Lamont Sidney can do really well is draw the foul. And his ability to draw the foul, I think, goes to speak of how physical he plays. And it shows right there as he gets fouled. He'll go to line to shoot 2.
That's 3 on Brady Johnson for the Saints, so that'll be tough for them as Lamont misses the first attempt. So Brady Johnson's going to have to sit down here now with 3 fouls. Number 15 comes back into the game.
So Lamont, second one is up and good, and that's one thing with Pine City. If they miss one, they correct it on the very next shot, and usually will get it to fall. So they do a great job of correcting right at the line, and now St. Francis kind of slows things down, getting it up the court, but immediately the passing game working really well. And this ball is going to go back to Pine City. The pass inside intended for Adumakan. And it goes out of bounds, and Dragons will take it up the court here. Lamont Sidney inbounds to A.J. Austinson. Austinson far side. He'll give it off to Isaiah Haas. And again, this St. Francis team giving them no room to breathe on offense. Anytime they get an open shot, there's someone right there within a blink of an eye before they shoot. And this ball goes awry, but it will. No, he did not get a hand on it, and it will go back to Pine City. That was close there for St. Francis Wes Johnson, but he managed to keep his hand just far enough away to not get a hand on it, and it will go out of bounds back to St. Francis. And turnovers starting to become a problem here for the Dragons. And that ball is going to go off of Lamont Sidney out of bounds, so St. Francis will hold on. Luke Wilson, Ashton Seals check in for Mason Charles and Isaiah Haas. And how important is it for Pine City here, again, with the pace like it is, to get the bench working this evening?
So, yeah, Luke Wilson came back in, so nice little break for him. Now Botham's on the number 5 for St. Francis. Now they got to do some things inside. Just see they go high-low there. Excuse me. I thought he went to the bench, but unfortunately for Pine City, he did not.
He was fouled, and he got the basket to drop, so another three-point opportunity here for Botham, and 16 foul on Pine City. I didn't see who grabbed it.
That was on, I just saw it too. It was on number 11, Ashton Seals, I believe. No, number 5, excuse me.
So Ashton Seals gets that foul, and Austinson will give it off to Wilson. Wilson near side looks for a screen from Cummings, but St. Francis does a good job of getting that one defender off of the screen, or one defender through the screen, and the other coming right behind him. Now Wilson gets the pass back from Austinson. Austinson goes to the far side. Wilson stands at the top of the key. He'll give it back to Austinson. Dragons trail by 11 here in the first half, 5.5 to go. Wilson and Austinson pass between themselves. Now he'll try to go inside to Lamont Sidney. I think Lamont Sidney thought he might have been fouled, and now the ball will go off of St. Francis. Derek Stone and out of bounds. So, or no, excuse me, that was Wes Johnson who it went off of out of bounds, and ball will go back to Pine City. And now Dragons catch a break here, and I think I would assume that this would have to be a spot where they almost need to get points.
Right. And they're doing some nice high pick and roll here on the wing, and really they're trying to go across here. But what they have here is they got Botham picking them up. So, instead of using the screen, slip it and go backside here, see if you can find something, especially right here, especially when you have Botham outside on you. But nice spine there by.
Nice. So Lamont Sidney, he was in some traffic. Botham and company were double teaming him, and then he found Riley Cummings right underneath the basket for 2. That's a beautiful job there by the Dragons, 24-15, and they're going to have a foul on, I believe, Wilson. And
23, yep.
And Botham's going to go to the line again, as now it'll be a 1-and-1 for the St. Francis Saints. It'll be 17 fouls, and Botham at the line for 1-and-1.
3 for 4 so far tonight for Botham at the line.
First one up, and good. Make it 25-15, and Dragons trail by 10 once again. And this pace has been white hot since tip-off, and Botham has 17 now, as he makes both of those to make it 26-15 in favor of the Saints, as the Dragons try to work something in their front court. Give it off to Sidney, now to Seals. Wanted to go to Austinson, but he'll give it back to Wilson. Wilson going around the perimeter, gives it to Sidney. Sidney will give it to Seals. Oh, almost a bad exchange. Could have led to a travel and a turnover, but gets it off to Austinson on the far side. Now back to Sidney. Sidney, top of the key. He'll kind of reset things just a little bit. Now give it to Wilson. Wilson got past Botham for 3. That's no good. And Cummings again, another rebound, and going to get a foul here on St. Francis. Wow. Riley Cummings has got his work cut out for him on the rebounds here tonight. He's their rebound leader in most games, but he has his work cut out for him tonight. But he was able to get that one there. He got a foul on Skutquist. I'm going to have trouble with that one all night. And holds on to it for Pine City. 16 foul for the Saints, and now here come the Dragons again on offense. Wilson wanted the 3, but he pulled it down instead, and they'll try to get things going and try and find something, anything open, anywhere they can, and the shot is up. It falls, plus the and 1.
One thing is Lamont Sidney is not afraid to go inside and go after him.
Lamont Sidney in talking with him in post game a few times, he says, he's not afraid, and he wants to go inside a lot of times because he feels that is the he does make it. I apologize. But, he feels like that can really motivate his team, and a lot of times it does. But a wide-open three, and that, if anything, Pine City has been okay with letting St. Francis on the perimeter right now because St. Francis has not been able to convert those threes, I'm sure, at the rate that they would like.
Yeah, it's been and really for them it was a really quick shot, and it didn't go for them, so Pine City gets the ball right back here, down 8 with a chance to cut it, 2-possession game here.
Ashton Seals, he's going to try and drive inside. That's going to be a tough ask for him, but instead he gives it outside to Lamont Sidney. Great move by Lamont, and he puts it up and in for 2. Lamont Sidney, fancy footwork there. He'll make it 26-20. And now coming the other way are the Saints. Bothan now on the bench, and I'm sure Pine City okay with that. Skogquist, no good on his shot. Ashton Seals gets the rebound, and here come the Dragons. Luke Wilson trying to find his fancy footwork, and who will they get this on? Did they call a foul?
Yeah, I think they're going to call it number 21. Looks like we're having some confusion about whose foul is on who here, so I'm not sure how they can solve this now, but they're going to try, I guess.
So we're going to get a break in the action, it looks like. Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Dragons trail by 6, 3:07 to go. Helping you find a smile you embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. Fans up here trying to give a helping hand. I don't know how able to do that, but we'll get it figured out. They're doing
I think it was a foul that happened earlier. I saw that their coach was talking about something happening earlier, so I'm not sure who's got the...
Because I think what they're arguing is Bothan, he has 2 fouls, and I think maybe that is, but I thought he got that before he went to the bench. Or maybe it is on, I don't know. So right now, it's Skogquist with 1. They also have Wes Johnson. Are they going to call that on Wes Johnson?
I thought they called it on 11, the last one.
So, oh boy, that
they called it on 21. Excuse me.
Odumakin with the foul, and Lamont Sidney.
It should be 1-1 here. So he made the first one, and that was a 1-1 shot. I didn't know what was happening there. So.
Well, that break kind of confused everybody, and he will go back to the line for his second shot after making the first.
Yeah, so there was a stoppage there. So he was fouled not on the way, so there was no basket on anything. So what happened is they had the stop. It was 1-1, and now he's going to get the second one since he made the first one.
And he only makes 1, so. But
nice
the Dragons.
Rebound by Lamont Sidney there.
And a long 3 for Luke Wilson. It's through! Luke Wilson from Curry range.
Well, he needed that one. 0 for 5 coming, or 0 for 6 into that one from 3 points. So they needed that one. Now it's down to 2 points with just under 3 minutes to go here. So nice move here by the Dragons to pick up as we get a steal here by the Dragons. Nice defensive intensity here as Wilson's going to go back to the line as he was fouled by
Derek
number 1,
Stone.
Derek Stone.
So my foul count is all messed up.
Yeah,
I don't know who's got who, but
it's tough to figure out right now. It's just back and forth.
26-24, and Wilson at the line to try and cut the lead down further. And he does with that made free throw. Down to 1.
I had a double-digit lead here, and then this nice little goal here by the Dragons has it tied again. So
wow, nice
little spurt here by the Dragons. 2:38 to go here in the first half, and it's tie game just like that. And of course, let's see, I think it was number 3, Brady Johnson, or 33 for them. Brady Johnson's sitting on the bench with 3 fouls as well. So a starter out, so that's going to make a difference for the Saints as well. As they get it to the corner here to number 15, and he drills it. Nice little shot by number 15.
So that was inside the 3-point line, so it will only be 2. But it still gives them the lead right back. Luke Wilson trying his luck inside, and I don't know what we're going to call here.
called a hook on. I'm going to say that Luke Wilson hooked as he went around the defender, so he put his arm around, hooked him to try and. I did see this. The same official called that in the JV game as well, so that must be his point of emphasis for this year.
28-26, St. Francis has the ball right back. 2:10 to go here in the first half. Trying to go inside. It's stolen away. Luke Wilson with another steal. Luke Wilson going to try his luck. Oh, he slipped. He had to put it up, but he still gets it to drop in for 2. Luke Wilson kind of stutter-stepped, almost like that fake slide we've seen from Kenny Pickett in the bowl game a couple years ago. It's that back foot slid, and now we get a double dribble here from Schoenrock, and the ball goes back to Pine City. Wow. Turn of momentum right now. And Isaiah Haas will check back in for Luke Wilson. Sorry about that, Joe.
No, I was going to say he had the lane there too, but just kind of didn't know what to do once he beat his defender, Schoenrock, and just hesitated there and held the ball for a second, put it back down for the double dribble.
Austinson will give it off to Lamont Sidney. Under 2 minutes to go. Lamont Sidney tries to go inside to Cummings. That was dangerous. Gets it up off the backboard, no good. And a rebound there for Schoenrock. And
great play by the Dragons. The problem is that St. Francis just has so much length. So it was 6'6", Schoenrock and 6'9", Botham.
Yes. And
I'm not sure what they're going to call here.
I don't.
31 Green, they said.
Oh.
Looks like. So Mason Charles with his second now. So he's going to have to take a seat here for the last 128 in a tie game. Good effort by him here in the first half, though.
Yeah, he's played very well here for Pine City.
Especially when you're going up against Botham, who's 6'9". He's given up about probably 8-9 inches, too.
Yeah, it is not easy against Botham, and he is a machine out there as he now has 17, make it 18 after that made shot. So 29-28, and man, I almost wish it were second half, not for time-wise, just I would love to see what the end of this game would look like if this were the end of the second half. We have a whole half of action to go. Botham makes a rare miss, but his teammate right there for the rebound, Skogquist. And the shot there, oh boy, didn't see who that was from.
That was Botham.
So Botham.
Nice dish by a teammate there, and he just put it in. He's just got a really smooth move for a big 6'9" guy.
He really does, and he makes it 31-28. Under a minute and a half to go. Lamont Sidney, he's had no fear here in this game. He says, well, I see your big guys, and I don't care. I'll drive inside, put it up in for 2. Wow, and talk about what a guy like Lamont Sidney does for Pine City right now, who is giving up quite literally a few feet when they go inside, but he's just continuing to have no fear, but he's making the baskets.
Right, and he's got great athleticism too, so it's easy for, I wouldn't say easy, but he's got a nice move to the basket as number 3, Pavlitsky, gets his first field goal of the night to make it 33-30 with 32 seconds to go.
Oh, he traveled. Oh, a mistake there by Austinson, and what kind of shift will that now bring to this momentum that Pine City just held on to for the last 3-4 minutes?
Well, it'll be interesting to see what St. Francis tries. Are they going to try and get one here quick and see if they can get another steal, or are they going to save for one shot here? Looks like they're going to walk it up and maybe save for the last shot here.
So what does Pine City do here? They know they can now realize that they're going for that last shot. I'd imagine you want a chance at the last shot, but you also don't want to foul. What do they do?
Well, yeah, you're just going to have to play it out and just hope to go back, get a steal maybe, or you want to go 33-30 at the half here. But they got great look here. 15, Skogquist in the corner, and he knocks it down.
Skogquist with the 3. That'll make it 35-30, but last second shot. Had the distance, but it is going to come up just wide left. Well, Minnesota's used to hearing that. 35-30 at halftime.
Too soon. Still,
Too
Ethan.
soon?
Yep.
35-30 on that Embrace Orthodontics score. Actually,
36-30.
On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible. With custom braces or Invisalign, you can find out more at their website on embracemn.com. So halftime here in Pine City. The Dragons trail the St. Francis Saints at halftime by 6, but what a first half it was. And it was an exciting one, a change of momentum there about halfway through. Helped Pine City get that game tied at 28, and then the Saints went on an 8-2 run there to end the half. But if you're Pine City, I think you got to be happy with where you're at here at half. Of course, not happy with the turnover, but you got to be pleased at how your team was able to kind of come out, battle hard, and come back from a 10-point deficit.
Right, so yeah, great intensity there. They picked it up on the defensive end, so it wasn't working out very well for them, but they were able to find their offense through their defense. They had a great couple steals, some runouts, were able to get some points, and more importantly, they were able to get to the line and get some guys in foul trouble. Like we said, Brady Johnson sitting on the bench with 3 fouls, so that'll be something to watch for the Saints in the second half. But yeah, really great second half of the first half there for the Dragons to actually tie it at 28. Like you said, a little 8-2 run there to end it. Some turnovers at the end kind of did in the Dragons, but got to be pleased. They're able to cut that to a single-digit lead, actually tie it, so you know that you can play with the Saints. Now it'll be the adjustments. How are the Dragons going to be able to defend that high-low? They like to run Schoenrock to the high post, Botham to the low post, or vice versa. So they've got some height advantage that they're going to have to figure out how they want to do that, because it looks like when they make a shot, the Dragons are going to get back into their trapping defense. On a miss, they're just matching up man-to-man is what it looks like. So make shots, gets them in a better position, but you got to watch those corners. 15 for them. Skugquist hit a couple of big shots down the end on that left baseline.
So we will take a commercial break here at halftime. We'll get a word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, we'll recap more of the first half, as exciting as it was, and then we should be just about set for the second half action here in Pine City as the Dragons hosting the St. Francis Saints in this non-conference matchup here in Pine City. We'll take a commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Boys Basketball on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Of course, WCMPradio.com.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getthere. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Back here on WCMP, pumping some Michael Jackson here at halftime, getting everybody in the mood for this second half. And it was a fun first half here for these teams as we take a look at the stat leaders. Of course, really no surprise, Bothan led the St. Francis Saints with 21. Of course, he is there now, their career points leader after that 28-year record of 15-22 was held for 28 years. Bothan scores now, 15 in the 40s now. So congratulations there to Bothan on a great career up to this point, and his career is still going. Skudquist had 5, 4 for Schoenrock, 2 for West Johnson, Landon Pavlitsky, and Derek Stone for St. Francis on the other side for Pine City. Luke Wilson led the way with 15, 13 for Lamont Sidney, and 2 for Riley Cummings. But we kind of talked about the height differential here in the first half, and it's going to, players don't shrink at halftime, unfortunately, for anybody. But so for Pine City, we were kind of talking, they're going to need to figure out the height difference here in the second half, because I have a feeling one thing is going to be huge in the second half is rebounds, whether it's offensively or defensively. For both sides, it's going to come into play here in a big way in the second half.
Right, and for the most part, I feel Pine City's been doing a really nice job on the glass. They've been boxing out, and they've St. Francis had some second chance opportunities with some offensive rebounds. For the most part, I thought Pine City's done a nice job on the glass, especially with that height advantage. Where the height is a little getting to them a little bit is on their offensive set, where they're trying to run their pick and roll, and they're just so long, and their wingspan is so much that even when they run their pick and roll, that secondary defender is right there, and it's just really tough to get around them. So some corrections, see what they can do in the second half here. They probably made some corrections to what they want to do or how they want to attack it now that they've had a half to kind of go against it. So let's see what happens and how they're going to go. But really defensively, making sure that you get help to, if Botham or Schoenrock get it low, make sure you're getting help on that, because you'd rather have a lower percentage shot from the outside than a uncontested shot inside for one of those two big guys.
Absolutely, and I've talked about how fouls might come into play here in this one. And what in this second half, Pine City, I believe, had 9 fouls there in that first half. I think St. Francis had 7 or 8 of them in that first half. But what are fouls going to do? And is Pine City, and I've mentioned this before, but is Pine City looking maybe to create more fouls here in the second half to try and get themselves to the line, because those are going to be uncontested no matter what.
Right, and that's what they need to do, and that's what they've tried to do there towards the end. Is they Lamont Sidney really took the ball at the net and went at the hoop there. So that's something that they maybe can capitalize here in the second half as well, to see how it goes.
Absolutely. On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, they will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, you can ask about financing options, because they'll find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. 18 minutes are back up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard here for the second half. 36-30, the Saints with the lead. And Pine City and the Saints back out onto the court. Head coach Kyle Allen for the Dragons. Head coach Kyle Waterworth for the Saints. Pretty good game plan there in the first half for both of these head coaches, and now we'll get to see their second half game plan as we go along. And St. Francis was able to get to the last shot in the last points of the second half. Is that as big of a opportunity and kind of a swing maybe in momentum, so to speak, as it is in maybe other sports like football?
Well, yeah, it can be. The thing here is now coming out of the second half, what are these first 4 minutes of the second half going to look like? So if you can win that first 4 minutes here, it's going to set up for a great last 14 minutes of the game. But win the next 4 minutes. That's what the mantra should be here right now as we get the second half underway.
So here come the Saints. It's going to be Wes Johnson who gives it off here to Stone. Stone, top of the key, looking for Show and Rock, and inside there to Bothan. And you kind of talked about that. What just happened right there is they can't let him get inside like that and get those uncontested shots because no matter who's around Bothan here this evening, it's going to be a mismatch for Bothan because he is, leaps and bounds taller than everyone on the court right now.
And Pine City did a nice job there because they had him pinned really low as a steal here by number 11 as he runs out here and gets knocked out, but it doesn't. A little confusion there about who's got what and where, but it looks like it's going to be Pine City's ball.
They definitely, I think, catch a break on that one. 17:23 to go, 38-30, the Saints lead.
It was Wes Johnson with the steal there. Now they're going to come together, talk about it, and give the ball to the Saints after the steal by Wes Johnson. That had a nice job of getting there. Just the contest by Lamont at the rim really affected that. So here we go underneath here as Wes Johnson gets it in to Derek Stone.
Yeah, and as frustrating as that is for fans of Pine City. So Pine City catches the break anyways, but as frustrating as that is for fans of Pine City who are wondering, well, why didn't we just keep the ball? Well, give credit to these referees. They're coming together. They're talking about it. They realize, hey, it went off of Isaiah Haas out of bounds, so they corrected it. Now, it does go against Pine City, but you got to like the fact that, hey, they talked about it, they corrected it, because now if that comes down to it late in this game, they're going to do it for Pine City as well.
Absolutely. So it was a nice job of coming together as a team and figuring it out and how they're going to what everybody saw. So the guy on the wing had a nice opportunity to look at it.
It went off of his hand. Oh, my goodness. Pavlitsky didn't see it, and luckily for Pine City, not to cut you off, but that went off of Pavlitsky's hand as he had his hand back behind him. So they catch a break there as that one was well behind the cutting inward Lamont Sidney. Is now Luke Wilson falling off his back foot. Doesn't get to fall in Bothan with the rebound. Not too surprising there on that one, but catching a break there is Pine City, and now working up the court again is St. Francis. It's Pavlitsky, gives it off far side here to Show and Rock, inside to Bothan, and Bothan up and in for two.
Just the help arrived too late there for Pine City. The weak side help just came a little late. They tried to get a little charge call on it, but he was already established and in there, so just a little too late on the help on that one.
And Lamont drives inside, and he doesn't get the friendly. Gets his own rebound, turns around, puts it up and in for two. Lamont Sidney has a motor that just doesn't stop. Much like a diesel engine, once it started, good luck getting it stopped.
Yeah, he did a really nice job there. Stayed with it, and that's their kind of goal there. And it just, again, they're not going to get that call. He tried to get him into a charge call there, but just they're not going to get that one.
So the Dragons have it in their front court now. They're working left to right on your radio dial, and St. Francis working right to left. And going after that rebound was Sidney, but getting it is Show and Rock, and quickly up the court come the Saints. Pavlitsky
nice
for three
block.
Is blocked, but Pavlitsky brings it down. No good on his shot. And rebound there for Show and Rock, who puts it back up and in for two. Make it 44-32, and early on feels like St. Francis right now has momentum, and it seems like Pine City kind of, and I don't want to say they're shocked. There's nothing shocking about what is going on the court right now. It just seems like they can't kind of figure out how to get out of a little bit of a rut that they're in.
Lamont Sidney is the answer right now. He's doing a great job of attacking and making sure that he's getting. Nice steal here. Up and in for Mason Charles.
I got to give credit to Charles on that one. I've seen him hit rim before with his fingertips. I'm pretty impressed that he didn't try to go for the dunk there on that one, and that's a smart move because as much as he probably could have, he didn't. He got the for sure thing.
Right. Just get the easy one. There was a foul there on Lamont Sidney as Botham goes back to the line to shoot two.
I think.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I guess I gave it to. I thought it. Yeah, it is on. Sorry.
I thought I seen Charles for a moment, but no, that was Lamont Sidney. And first one is good. So Bothan, a problem here this evening for
7 for
City.
9 from the free throw line as well right now.
And He goes 1 of 2 that time. The
offensive rebound and back to back to Botham, and he'll put that one in.
Dragons almost pushed it back up through the basket. I don't think that would count, but hey, you can try. Maybe the refs won't catch it. As the Dragons come the other way, now in their front court, trailing by 11. Luke Wilson with it. He'll pull up a 3. That's going to come up well short. Riley Cummings does keep it alive to Mason Charles. And Riley Cummings showing off his length. Now back outside to Luke Wilson from top of the key for 3, and that's no good. And we're going to get a foul there on Isaiah Haas. And it just seems on these rebounds that Pine City is a little bit, is kind of rushing things a little bit, kind of out of sorts almost, so to speak, because they just feel like they're falling behind almost.
Yeah, like chasing points a little bit there, but I mean, both shots by Wilson were good. I mean, they were just open looks, just a little short on him right now. Skutquist to Stone now. Stone takes it in left hand, no good. Botham with
and
nice
should have been a foul call there on Botham, but then the pass upwards to Wilson, and Wilson shows his frustration, but Cummings tried to get that one, and, great job there by Cummings to fight for that rebound. But that one just a little too far in front of Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson a little bit frustrated on that one. But and I think that's a big thing, too, that we really haven't mentioned is emotions. Especially in this game, you're going to have to keep emotions in check here tonight, because if emotions start to get the best of you, this game could really get out of hand. Shot up and no good. Rebounded
Botham went for one there and didn't get the foul this time for a change.
As Luke Wilson brings it the other way, he puts it up and in for 2. Luke Wilson got that rebound from Ashton Seals, and it's 47-38, the lead for St. Francis inside to Botham, and he's going to try and go inside, and they get a travel call on Botham. And the ball will go back to Pine City. And Pine City catches a break. And this is kind of how it went last time when they went on their roll of getting back tied from being 10 points down. They kind of got that turnover and really started to get going on offense. And even though it looked a little bit rushed at times, they knew what they were doing. And maybe that's what will happen here. And that's all they can hope for right now, is trailing by 9, 47-38 here. Going to get a push here on Pine City. I'll give them their fourth team foul, and the second on Nick Plajic. So those are the mental mistakes that they are going to have to try and avoid here in the second half, especially. You might be able to get away with them a little bit in the first half because of the opening stanza, but in the second half it is much more important that those do not happen as often. And unfortunately there for Pine City, it turns into a turnover. And almost capitalizing on a throw behind the player, and that shot was easily going to be nowhere close to good. That ball, I mean, my goodness, how many hands does it have to go through to get rebounded? As Haas, and he got fouled, does Wilson going to the basket. Haas got the rebound after it went through about everybody on the court, and they give it up to Wilson, who goes to the basket. He's fouled. He'll go to line to shoot 2.
Falls on Wes Johnson, his second now.
So Wilson at the line to shoot 2. First one is up and good. 47-39.
Yeah, that was quite the action down there. It was like whack-a-mole down there. It was like bing, bing, bing after everybody's head, and it was all sorts of stuff going on. Hard to describe that one.
You're right. Wilson does. He does get the kind roll. Wow, I did not think that one was going to fall through, but it manages to fall through, and it's 47-40. And maybe it's just me thinking too much on it, but how much does it mean for a team to get back within the same point category that the other team is?
Well, again, they're just working hard. They're having some good looks here. They're getting some opportunities to get some steals, get some rebounds. Foul's going to be on Haas here. That's going to be his second, I believe. I think they wanted a shot there, but I don't think he was really in the possession of shooting a foul there. So
I would agree. As now they will get it quickly inbounded, trying to go to Botham. It's knocked out of bounds. And, Isaiah Haas, even though Botham's going to get that look plenty more times tonight, that's a great job by Haas just to knock it out of the way, because, again, that's going to create doubt sooner than later in the guy who's passing it to Botham, thinking, well, there was pressure the last time.
We did a nice job of getting high side on that, but the low side was just late on that. As Skudquist knocks down another 3 for the Saints.
So 50-40, the St. Francis lead. Pine City up the court. Luke Wilson, he's looking to drive inside. Wants to go inside to Nick Plajic. Back outside to Wilson. Wilson on that far side elbow, trying to find a way through the defense. But, man, that length and their speed is just all over Pine City tonight as Isaiah Haas gets it now to Nick Plajic. Nick Plajic on the near side elbow gives it to Lamont Sidney. Lamont Sidney, top of the key, fakes the three. Wanted to drive inside, and now he decides to. Nope, backs out. Now drives in. And Bothan right there. Ooh. Thought that was close to a foul, but not close enough as Bothan's going to grab the rebound.
Nice job of splitting the defenders there. Just didn't get the shot to foul.
And pass outside here to Pavlitsky. Now gives it off here to Brady Johnson. And Derek Stone now to Brady Johnson again, all the way across the court here to Skukquist. And inside, and Lamont Sidney with a block.
That's what they're doing. That's a nice job there. So what they did is they fronted Botham on the high fronted him, and then the weak side was able, Lamont Sidney was able to come over and help on that one, and that's what they're going to have to do if they want to get to the wing, get that weak side help to come backside to help on that one.
And I think there was a buzzer there for.
No, they're just, the ball went out of bounds,
okay.
And now they're trying to get a reset here. But again, their length, if you look how far, if you're watching this on YouTube, Pine City really has to start their offense out further from the three-point line as they go through, as Lamont Sidney takes it in and goes up, gets the foul, and if that's on Johnson, that's going to be his fourth.
Ooh. It is. So he'll probably come to the bench for some time for St. Francis, and he was part of their starting five. And what does it mean for a team to lose one of their starting five guys? Not for the game, but obviously for a little bit of time.
You hope you have a deep bench.
Yes.
Hopefully your sixth guy makes it.
Right. Well, so far the St. Francis bench has done a really good job here this evening as Bothan will check out of the game for at least a little bit, and Pine City maybe they'll look to that to try and get things going as Lamont Sidney missed the first free throw, a rarity there from Sidney, and he corrects it here on the second one. And
3 for 5 now for him from the free throw line, down to a 9-point lead again. Again, this 1-2-2 trap is really affecting how the Saints do this, and they're trying to trap in the corners here. Kick out here now, back to the corner. 3 in the corner. Sorry, I didn't get his name. Is
Pavlitsky.
Yeah, and he knocks down the three-pointer.
And as much as they struggled in the first half with the three, it's all of a sudden starting to come alive here in the second half for the Saints. And I think Pavlitsky may have gotten away with a toe on the line there, but he might have just kept it in. I'm not down there, so I can't really say, but he's able to get the
good take by Sidney there. Just didn't get it to roll again. Schoenrock with a nice little move finds. Travel. Yep.
And the travel came before the foul, everybody.
Yeah, so he traveled.
Odumakin with the travel, and I think a lot of people wanted Lamont Sidney for the foul, but that happened after the fact, so it will not count as a foul. Lamont Sidney and Mason Charles will get a rest. Isaiah Haas is told to stay out there, and I'm assuming because of his physicality, they need him out there, and we have 10:20 to go, and we got a stoppage of play. I'm not sure what's.
I think it's some of the fans. Let's just call them high school fans. I think maybe are getting a little boisterous.
Well, that's unfortunate. You never want to see that. I've only seen it happen once in high school sports that a fan has gotten thrown out, and it's unfortunate. But, again, ladies and gentlemen, what we have to do is we have to remember this is a game for these guys out there. It's not for us. It's for them. And I understand. We're passionate about our teams, as we should be, as now Adumakin will get the steal.
There you go.
And good.
So I thought you were going to get another dunk call there.
He was
lining it up.
He was, but he smartly just lays it in with Luke Wilson falling right behind him. Now Luke Wilson going to try and drive inside. That layup no good, as that's too strong. And then Isaiah Haas. I think Isaiah Haas was looking for a call because he didn't throw that one like he should have. And we're going to get a timeout here by St. Francis. Yeah, that looked weird because Isaiah Haas kind of threw it as if he was expecting a whistle, and it kind of just rolled out of his hand. So it looked kind of weird there. But, again, continuing on, we got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the girls and boys out here on the court, not for us in the stands. And as passionate as we may get, we got to remember, these referees, this is something they do in their free time. Yes, they get paid, but it's not anything to go and really make bank off of. So they do this out of the kindness of their heart because they want to help these young ladies and gentlemen play a game that we're blessed to play here in the United States of America, so let's just remember, give these refs a break. They're not going to call everything. They're not going to see everything. They do their best out there, and a lot of times we don't even have 3 available for a game. We have 2, and sometimes there's 1. So let's remember to kind of give them a break and remember that at the end of the day, this is a game. It doesn't matter to us who wins and loses.
That's right. Unless they make the wrong call.
As we continue on, Derek Stone has it in front of the court. He'll give it off to Pavlitsky. Now inside to Bothan. No surprise. He's checked back in. A little floater. Oh, and a miss. And he's going to let that one go out of bounds. And it will go back to Pine City as it should. Bothan the last to touch it there. Trying to get the rebound, but
nice adjustment by St. Francis. So what they did is they overloaded the side because they know that Botham's getting backside help, defensive help against him. So they did a really nice job of getting everybody to one side. Nice block there as Saints go the other way now with it. But now they're overloading this side, so you don't have backside help, so that lob's going to be there for the big men.
Stone with the block, but Luke Wilson, an initial spin move was nasty on that one as Stone will take it to the basket for 2 for St. Francis to make it 57-41, and all of a sudden now it's starting to, I don't want to say the Saints are pulling away because we've seen, again, Pine City has closed the deficit quickly, but it's getting to a point now where we're under that halfway mark here in the second half where things are going to start falling into place here for one team. And if for Pine City, again, not getting out of hand, but you're going to have to start getting things going on offense. Is another miss there from Luke Wilson, unfortunately. Schoenrock with the rebound, and quickly up the court, it's Pavlitsky for 3. No good. And rebound there as I think Riley Cummings definitely got fouled as he went for the rebound, but Bothan going to take it in and put it up and in for 2. Cummings had it slapped out of his hand, but it was more, maybe. I'm not down there, so I can't really say.
Remember, Ethan, they're here for the kids.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I will
cut.
eat
nice
my own
cut.
words. Nice inside pass there to Riley Cummings from Charlie Osmus. And Adumakin, he'll give it off to Schoenrock, and he'll get fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That'll be on Haas, his 3rd. Schoenrock back to the line, or first time to the line here.
And no good on the first one. And this game at 18-point deficit right now for the Dragons as Haas and Seals will check out. It's Charles and Lamont Sidney who check back in.
16-point deficit. We just scored, so 60 now to 43.
I was never good at math, and I will never claim to be good at math. So now it's a 17-point lead, though.
There you go.
As Luke Wilson will try to drive inside, backs it out to Lamont Sidney. Lamont Sidney trying to get around one defender. Nice spin move, but he lost the ball. And a turnover, and that's the last thing the Dragons need right now as now Schoenrock. Oh, he missed it. Tried to get his own rebound, but Charlie Osmus going to get it, and that's got to be a foul. Almost tackled Osmus, and I think that will be a foul on Schoenrock.
I think he's just disappointed with himself because he had to run out there, and he just mishandled it and didn't get it to go.
Yeah, that's one of those opportunities where you don't want to miss because that puts it up to a 19-point lead, and upset with himself on that one. But Charlie Osmus, great job, great hustle out there to grab that rebound and hung on to it. Now it's Lamont Sidney who will work with it. And got
to get help there. He finds his help.
Yeah, it looks like a knee might have just given out for a moment as Derek Stone pokes it out. And no good on the 2 as Mason Charles will grab the rebound here for Pine City. And Luke Wilson, beautiful inside pass to Riley Cummings. And they finally get back on the scoring side of things, does Pine City. Now trail by 15, but here come the Saints. And they'll give it out to Schoenrock. And now inside to Bothan, and Bothan up and in for 2.
Nice ball movement there by the St. Francis Saints. They did get a quick tic-tac-toe passing there, and then just a nice shot there for Botham in close.
Foul here on St. Francis.
So it's on Derek Stone, and I got 2 on him.
So his second, team's 4th, as now they will have Brady Johnson check back into the game, and a young man who we haven't seen yet tonight, Braden Terrace, wearing number 2, he'll check in. And a
Haas
3
is
that
blocked.
is blocked.
Run out to Pavlitsky.
An easy 2 for Pavlitsky to make it 64-45. So right now, the Dragons, they trail by nearly 20. Obviously, there's no 20-point shot in basketball. What is the message right now from head coach Kyle Allen? And do you think about taking a timeout soon?
Probably if there's another quick run out here, you might want to just settle everybody down or turnover. But as Lamont Sidney goes in, he's blocked, and it's going to stay with the Dragons. But yeah, now you're just working on, okay, let's get some offensive sets down. Let's make sure we're running things right. We still have a lot of season left to go here. Let's just make sure that we end on a positive note here. Play hard all the way through.
At Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard with just under 6 minutes to go, sees the Dragons trailing by 19. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. Also, they have Dr. Sievers, who is committed to providing a world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. We've got bodies falling all over the court right now as we're going to get a kickball by Sidney. Oh, do they call a foul?
Looks like it.
I think that was more incidental contact with the feet that time. I think that's on Johnson. I think that's Brady Johnson.
That's his 5th, if that's the case.
Wow, it is on him. He's going to he fouls out. No. That's his 5th.
They have a player playing right now with 5 fouls, so
yeah, he's got a.
You got to get a.
What they did is they allowed the inbound there before he checked out. Unfortunately, so with that just happened. Do you take the point away from Pine City and redo it with that possession, or?
I think they're saying no shot here. Well, part of that's on the score table too, so that's what the horn's for. You got to alert, blow as I do some score table work as well. When there's 5, you got to. Okay, so they're not going to count the basket for Haas.
But it will go back to Pine City on the possession, so they'll get to inbound it again. And, again, this is the correct call by the referee. It's a great job by them coming together, talking about it. Allen's upset about it, and I can understand that from a coaching standpoint, but this is the right call. They did talk about it. That is the right call. They did not get the man with 5 fouls out before the inbound, and unfortunately you can't play with someone who has 5 fouls, so I like the fact that they came together.
The score table as well. They got to alert to know what's going on. Now double team underneath here.
Oh, Sidney.
Nice
job of getting his own rebound, and then out for a 3 for Sidney, and no good. Isaiah Haas with the rebound.
Still working hard.
And this ball nearly stolen back by Pine City, but stays with the Saints, and they'll bring it up the court now. And if you're St. Francis here, I'm sure that you just continue to run your offense, try and maybe try a few different things on offense, and continue to get it to Bethune, obviously inside.
Even with the backside help there, it was still just too easy for Boston there.
And Boston, too many points to count right now. Mason Charles drives inside. Nice job to get that one to fall from Mason Charles. He'll make it 66-47. 19-point deficit here for Pine City. As the Saints will get it up the court.
And one thing about Pine City, down 19, now 17. 19 still. I can't do math either. They're doing a great job of playing, still playing hard, but nice little action there by the Saints. Gets Wes Johnson with a nice, easy layup bucket.
So Wes Johnson that time with the basket, and now it's Luke Wilson. It's 68-47, and that was close to a possible foul, but nice job avoiding it.
Just to get him up in the air. He tried to get him up in the air, but to no avail.
Oh, no shot, no good there from Skudquist, but he got his own rebound. I'll give it out to Pavlitsky, now to Bothan. He's going to put up a 3. He got him.
Why not, huh?
I don't even know what to say on that one. That is ridiculous, honestly.
Here in Minnesota, East Central Minnesota, 6'9" that's a player inside going Division I. That's going to be
no way.
He's going to be playing outside as he knocks down another one.
Wow. Bothan just going off. I think he's got close to 40 points now, if not 40. Wow.
Yeah, he did a great job. Wilson now with another.
And
3.
Wilson unfortunately misses there on that one. And Terrace will get the rebound here for the Saints. And
I think Dad just told us I needs 43 points to do the all-time and travel there. the all-time leading score single game score record. I think we got Mom and Dad in front of us here.
So 74-47 is the score, and we got a foul apparently on Pine City. Or St. Francis, excuse me. So St. Francis, I think that's what they changed on the score. I know I seen some change. I don't know what it was. Hard to keep up with here.
Yeah. 2:55 to go here in the second half.
And Charlie Osmus with a shot, no good. And obviously they will. And the Saints I forgot to go after the ball, and they'll get it back.
And try to get his points here.
Yep. And here goes Bothan. There is the record.
Except I think I got him for more points here than they did in the book as well. So.
I agree. I think we both have him with a couple more points.
I think he already has it.
I think he has 45, if I remember. I think we've got him with a couple more points. So I think he has 45 right now, the way we have it scored.
Yeah, my scorebook has it, I think, at about, he had 21 at 5'10", 19. So that's 38 and 3 threes. That's 9. So I got him for 46 points.
So the
28 and 3, so that's 9. 15.
Meanwhile, Dragons have it in their front court. We did get a foul there on St. Francis. That'll be their team's 6th. It'll be 2:24 to go. 76-47, Dragons trail. Ashton Seals. And we got a couple of the younger guys out there now for Pine City. Number 10, that is Matthew Blake, as well as Merrick Overtomb out there. And
yeah, I have him for 44 right now.
So 44 points, and that would give him the school record for most points in a game.
Yep.
And that'll we've got some commotion down there trying to figure something out. I'm not sure what.
I got him. Trying to tell him I got him for 44.
So not sure all the commotion is.
They want to get him the points here.
So they're going to cheer that is the record, but again, we had them with more points, and I'll stick with ours.
Yep. Foul called on number 21 there.
Oof. 78-47, and I mean, congratulations to Bothan. That's awesome. 40. What do we have him? 46.
39 and 7. I have him for 46 points.
So 46 points in this game gives him the school's single season or single game record for most points. And
Seals go to the line, missed the first one.
And it's rebounded there by Merrick Overtomb. And Charlie Osmus being double teamed and probably could have got a foul on that defender as he slapped the arm of Osmus. But Osmus does a good job of holding on there, and it will stay with the Dragons. As we get you heard Joe, jump ball.
Oh, that was close. Got close to that timeline there.
Yeah, Osmus will get it on the inbound to Ashton Seals. Seals will look to drive inside at it, poked at night. Oh! Poked out there by Connor Peterson, and they're going to get him for a foul. So, Seals will go to line to shoot a 1-and-1. 78-47, the Dragons trail here, and that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, helping you find Smile Your Embrace forever. 1-and-1, no good on the first. Overtomb could not grab the rebound as Braden Terrace, gets it for St. Francis. And the Saints continuing to fight on, as that ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Pine City. So a rough second half here for Pine City. We'll talk about that as we get to the post game. Stay tuned after the game as well for our A&W player of the game, as well as an interview with head coach Kyle Allen. Rebound there by Matthew Blake. We'll get it off to Ashton Seals. Seals on the near side, trying to get around the defender. Nice move, but this is off the backboard and in. Wow, nice job there by Ashton Seals. Backboard shot. The bank is open this late, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Allen not pleased with that call, as he thought that should have been on St. Francis, but it's going to go against Pine City. I believe they got Nick Plajic for that one. That's going to be his third. 78-50, and Saints will just get set to inbound. They got pretty much their JV in now.
Emptying the bench here for the Saints. They will even their record at 10-10 now.
So Pine City will. And we got a ball out of bounds there. Last touch by Pine City, so it will again stay with St. Francis. Pine City going to drop to 10-9 on the season. They stay one game above 500, and they'll be back here tomorrow night to take on the Bram Bombers. And St. Francis wouldn't be surprised they just try to dribble out the rest of this clock, or if you get travel. No.
Yeah, Plejack kind of got into him there, and he was set, and then he moved around him, so he then tried to reset quickly, and 0, which we don't have in our book.
I believe that's Kennedy Heckenlabel, or Label, I believe.
What you said.
And first one's up and no good. So Plajic with his fourth.
27.6 seconds to go in the game, though, so
we'll see everybody stay in. And Pine City will try and go and grab a few more points before this one is done, as Heckenlabel
makes the second one after it hit a few different parts of the rim there.
Charlie Osmus looks to drive inside. Nice job by Osmus to get that one up and in for 2. Osmus still working hard out there. 252, excuse me. And here come the Saints back the other way. And with 10 seconds left, they're going to, travel, missed it. That's okay. He gets his points. Therefore, now I don't have a number for that one. That's either Austin Cruz. That's the only 10 I have on the roster sheet here.
20.
Was it 20? We're all sorts of discombobulated up here. That's David Tupper.
That's what happens when they clear the bench.
David Tupper will get the points to fall. 81-52 is the final. And Pine City, as we mentioned before, drops to 10-9 on the season. They'll be back here tomorrow. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with our A&W Player of the Game and an interview with head coach Kyle Allen. You're listening to Boys Basketball right here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, WCMP.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. We're now joined by our A&W Player of the Game, Ashton Seals. Ashton, first of all, congratulations on being our A&W Player of the Game.
Thank you.
This one was a tough one here for you guys. A lot of length on that other side, but what is something that you'll take away from this game going forward?
I think that it's good to play teams like this. It really you know, it helps us learn. It helps us get better. You know, playing worse teams isn't going to do anything for us, so it's good playing big teams like this.
Absolutely, and you've had a tough schedule up to this point on the season. How do you feel that you guys have improved in playing those tough teams?
It's great, honestly. I think we just have to work on playing to us and not playing down to others when we play against the not-so-good teams.
Absolutely, and this team has just continued to mesh as the season has gone along. How do you feel that this team is coming together?
I think from the start of the season to now it's gotten a lot better. I think all the players are getting a lot more connected, which is good come playoff time.
Absolutely. Well, Ashton, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
And we will now get it over to head coach Kyle Allen, and that was again our A&W player of the game, Ashton Seals, and we'll now be joined by the head coach, Kyle Allen. Coach, didn't go the way you wanted, but a pretty impressive first half for you guys.
Yeah, you know what? We came out, we executed, we were excited. Maybe the most talented team we've seen this year. Top to bottom. So our guys were a little up for the challenge, and they wanted to have that opportunity. And we were really excited. That's some real talent out there for St. Francis, and so our guys didn't back down, and that's a big thing as as we're looking at our games against 3A schools and against the bigger schools. We've been hanging in there longer and longer as the season has gone on. And that's hopefully showing a little bit of growth on our guys, a little bit of learning, a little bit of basketball IQ, and a little bit more hopefully the system growing with them. So I was really happy with the way we came out. I was really happy with the way that we fought. And continue to fight throughout the game.
Absolutely, and just the size difference here in this one was quite noticeable. But what is the message to your team when there is a size difference like that?
We just got to find a way, and there's no magic pill, there's no magic wand that's gonna make Luke Wilson grow to be 6'8" overnight, and it just is what it is. He came to me this morning and said, "Coach, I want to guard Matt. I want to get a chance at him." And I said, that's usually not what we do with Luke. We have a lot of guys that we put in that position, and Luke asked to go in that position. So it was when a senior captain, a 2-year captain, 3-year starter comes and tells you he wants to do something, you listen. And so I thought we did a nice job. I mean, I don't know how many he ended up with, but we did a nice job of trying to corral it. But some things you can't teach, some things you can't stop, no matter what you throw at it. And the kid's obviously very good. He's going to go on and play Division I college basketball. He's St. Francis' all-time leading scorer, and there's reason for that. So I was really happy with the way that we came out, and we're focused and energized to try to do things the right way.
And speaking on Wilson, he was guarded by Bethune here a lot in that first half. Did that surprise you? And he also played pretty well against it.
It reminded me a long time ago we had a point guard named Noah Adams, and the only way you could try to contain Noah Adams, and if you got lucky, was if you had someone with a lot of length and a lot of athleticism. And so we've seen it before, but I don't know if Luke has ever seen it in a Pine City jersey before. But I thought he handled himself really well. I thought Lamont handled himself really well. Ashton Seals really tried to take it to the rim. Guys are trying to do what's best for the team. And again, I think we showed what we can do, and it's just about the great ones can do it consistently, and the great ones can do it against everyone. And so we're still working our way there. We still got a month of season left.
Absolutely. And talk about emotions in a game like this, because I'm sure emotions can get really high at sometimes. But how do you make sure that these guys keep within themselves and not let the emotions get the best of them?
Yeah, and part of it starts with me, and my job as the leader and the coach, and my job is to set the tone. But we also want our boys to be excited. We want them to be loud. We want them to be, that edge of crazy, that edge of chaos. That's what we teach. That's what we preach. And so we always say, make us pull you back. Make us bring you back to where you need to be. Make us bring you back within the fence. But we encourage our guys to be loud. We encourage our guys to be crazy. We encourage them to be enthusiastic. And then our job is to pull them back in when they wander out a little too far.
And tomorrow night you get a game right back here at home against a conference opponent. Another important matchup here for you guys tomorrow night. Talk about that game tomorrow.
Yeah, so we got Bram coming up tomorrow, and we went over there earlier this year, and now they're going to come visit us, and so we're excited to host Bram again. In our conference, everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows each other's middle names. It's there's no secrets floating around in the Great River. Everyone's seen everyone's plays, everyone's seen everyone's sets, everyone knows what everyone wants to do, and Coach Eklund does a heck of a job over there in Bram. Year in and year out, he's working his tail off year round, and so I respect a lot of what he does and what he has done. And so there, we know that we're going to have a battle on our hands on a quick turnaround tomorrow night.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck going forward.
Appreciate it always. Thanks for all your coverage, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. That, again, was the head coach of the Pine City boys basketball team, Kyle Allen, and we will now be joined again by the second member of this team, that is Joe Lattimore. Joe, again, not the half that we would have liked to have seen from Pine City, but I think one of the biggest things here tonight is the fact that emotions could have easily gotten the best of this Pine City team, especially when you got a team who was literally hanging over you all game. They did a really good job of keeping their emotions in check.
I think the big thing that you take away from this is how the compete factor. Pine City competed the whole game, the whole 36 minutes from start to finish, and that's something that Coach Allen can take back to his guys and say, hey, we competed. We knew this was going to be a tough game for us, but we learned about ourselves. We learned that we can compete and we're going to be successful because we were able to, like you said, kind of keep their heads and just work through it. And like I said, they did a great job of competing the whole game. Start the second half, St. Francis came out and really established the inside game, the inside threat, and then it was really tough for Pine City to answer that. They had a couple turnovers, some missed shots that didn't go their way. So that really did not start that first 4 minutes like we talked about off for the Dragons. And you look at the scoring, second half was 45-22 for the Saints. So big second half for the Saints, and again, I think a lot of that had to do with their length, not being able to get into offensive sets without having treetops stopping you at every turn of the. So nice job by St. Francis coming here and get a win. And like Pine City, great job of competing. So you learn a little bit about yourself. You don't have to see these guys again this year, and now you can move forward with conference play and with some section play for the rest of the week.
Absolutely. And talk about our stat leaders here in this one for both these teams. I know we tried to keep up the best we could, but go ahead and if you could, give us our stat leaders for St. Francis, starting off with, I know it's Bothan who led the way there for St. Francis.
Yeah, so what I had him for is 46, and again, that's unofficial stuff here, but we try to keep up as much as we can, and all my points added up at the end to 81, so I think I was right. So he led the way with 46, but when you look at everybody else is in single digits. So Pavlitsky had 7, Schoenrock had 7, Skugquist had 8. Those were the other ones that were really scoring, so it was really the Matthew Botham show here for the Saints. So for them to be successful going forward, they're going to have to find some other avenues to make sure that they are a full team, because once you get to playoffs, you can shut down one guy, and that makes a big difference. Now, for Pine City, a couple of two scorers in double figures, Luke Wilson with 19 and Lamont Sidney with 18, after having 15 and 13 in the first half, respectively, for both of them. Riley Cummings with 6, Mason Charles with 4, Seals with 3, and I think Osmus had the final points there for the Pine City Dragons. So some nice scoring by the two big guys that Pine City needs to lean on and get their points from and work their offense through Wilson and Sidney. So they were able to carry the team there for a little bit and keep them in it in the first half. But again, it was just the athleticism and length of the Saints that just got to Pine City there in the second half.
Yeah, and now we look forward here for Pine City. Again, we talked about it there with head coach Kyle Allen. Turn around tomorrow, and you've got Bram, a conference opponent. And again, this conference is so competitive no matter the seasons that the teams are having. Bram not having the season they would want, but this is going to be a fun one here back at Pine City. I know the first half in that first game that they played was really close. In fact, I think it was a 36-31 first half score in favor of Pine City. But this is going to be a good test for Pine City. And what does it mean for Pine City to come back at home tomorrow to play another game?
Well, like you said, you got to get up. Bram still has that, it's still the Bombers. Regardless of how they are or what they're doing, that's always was the gold standard in the Great River Conference for many, many years. So everybody gets up for Bram, and they know that. And Pine City will get up for that tomorrow. And if you look at kind of a similar score from the last time at Bram, 84-58, looks like, Bram was able to compete for a half, but then it was the athleticism of the Dragons that pulled away in the second half. So now Bram has to come up here and see what they can do up in this building. So it'll be a good opportunity, a bounce-back opportunity for Pine City to get right back at it. You don't have long to think about this one before you're playing again right away.
Absolutely. And then Friday, they get to play another tough team, this time in the section in Malacca. Malacca, I believe, is a top 5 team in the section. And for the last couple of years, the battle between Pine City and Malacca has been fantastic action to watch. That's going to be an important one, but then we continue on. They got Ogilvie, Spectrum, Mora, Hinckley, Finlayson, Esco, and Mora and Malacca are 2 our section games, but talk about how big those are going to be, because those two have kind of developed into almost a rivalry for Pine City.
Right, especially with it being both section opponents, but also kind of similar like size schools. Pine City, Malacca, Mora, all in that 400 enrollment range for high schools. So it's a nice competitive one, close. So it's able to build those rivalries up, especially with Mora. The last few years, Mora's had a good team, and so Pine City though has been able to do some things against Mora in the recent past. So those games are always good to get up for, to see how to go, because it's just different styles. When you play Malacca and Mora, you're playing football on a basketball court, and so it's just a different style that you have to use, especially when you play those teams from the Granite Ridge Conference. They like to get up and down and get after it as well. And we take a last look at the conference standings right now. Pine City chasing East Central, but that win for Hinckley Finlayson last Thursday, is huge for Pine City, because that pulls them within game and a half, 2 games of trying to recapture the conference crown. I believe it's been 5-6 years since anyone else in this conference has been able to hold on to it. But East Central this year trying to pull away, and they've got a favorable schedule coming up, for their conference schedule at least, to try and take that crown. Yeah, with Pine City losing both games to East Central. So as you look at it right now in the conference, East Central 7-1, Pine City 7-2. So what that means is East Central is going to have to lose 2 of their last 4 conference games for Pine City to win the conference. Pine City is going to have to win outright all their conference games, and then East Central is going to have 2 hiccups along the way for Pine City to keep the conference title. So it'll be interesting to see how the Great River shakes out here towards the end. Even though East Central does have a favorable schedule, I mean, they go to Rush City. I know they and 2 against Bram, and I think they have an Ogilvie, as we talked about before. So there are some opportunities for teams to step up and surprise, but East Central is also playing for Ogilvie and Bram twice. Those are not only conference teams, they're section teams, so you want to make sure that you're dialed in for those, because seeding plays into into that once you get into the playoffs here in a month. Absolutely. Well, again, the final here in this one on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard is the Pine City Dragons fall 81-52. Here at home. They'll play Bram tomorrow. We'll be here for that one once again, so stay tuned for that. But I want to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. You watched a great game between these two teams. Got to see some history here for St. Francis come to the court, with Bothan scoring 46 points, and now the team's leading all-time scorer from a record that was held for 28 years, a guy who you played against, and also the single-game scoring record there for Bothan here in this one. Again, the Dragons will be in action tomorrow. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much to all of our fine sponsors for sponsoring this broadcast. Can't do it without them. And, of course, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone's going through, and your kindness can really make their day. Joe, thank you for joining me, and any final thoughts here on this one? No, it was a good game. Like you said, we kind of thought it would be a tough one for Pine City. They fought hard in the first half, learned some things about themselves that they can take forward moving into the rest of their regular season. Well, again, the final, Pine City falls to St. Francis 81-52. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned to the morning shows for your local sports updates. That'll do it here from Pine City. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.